Well, welcome to another episode of Discussion.
Yes, sir.
We're here
Welcome.
one more time.
Uh-huh.
Show y'all some love.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? We got a very special guest coming on, but before we get to it,
Hold up. You know, this kid actually witnessed his best friend's murder at about 13 years old. He's from North Philly. And how old is he right now?
I want to say...
Is he grown? Is he an adult?
I'm not sure. I want to say he's like 17.
Well, but look, still.
He's still a baby.
He witnessed his best friend's murder.
Right.
And he testified on who did that.
Right. From the information that I've read, that's what it appears to be. His friend was murdered. He witnessed it, and his, from my understanding, his mother forced him to go in there and do that. So,
oh man, my mother would have never did that.
At the age of 12, well, 13, he was either 13 or 14 when this occurred. So the question becomes,
is he too young to be a snitch?
And then on top of that, is he a street kid? Like,
See,
I really don't know much about this dude. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. Just the song. If y'all don't know, Pop Hunna is the dude that got the Corvette song. And
he got this other song on TikTok that's huge.
I think that's it. That's it.
No, the Corvette is Antibel. It's
Adderall. It's the same song.
It is?
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh,
the name of the song is actually called Adderall, but it's Corvette. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's crazy. When he got like one song with two names. These kids crazy.
It's that new wave stuff.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that snitching though. So I just can't tell them. I can't do that.
I mean, and I somewhat agree. You know what I mean?
I mean, look,
but I personally feel like at the age of 13, if you're not a street guy, like, you know what I'm saying?
And you turn into a street guy afterwards.
I mean, the trauma from witnessing somebody being murdered, I think could drive anybody insane or crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pressure bust pipes.
Listen, we're talking about...
And you might have a totally different perspective after you go through whatever ordeal it is that you go through. Like I can kind of like put myself in that position because I had a traumatic experience that humbled me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes it's a traumatic experience could make you worse.
It can. Yeah, it has.
It can either humble you or it can turn you into a totally different person.
Exactly. I agree with that.
So, with that being said, man, like, at 13, man, I'm not... I would have to know more about this kid because some of us was off the porch early.
Right.
And I think if you off the porch at the age of 13, 14, like some of us was, I think that, you know, if you playing the game, then you got to abide by the rules, and you should know the rules at that point. But let's just say, hypothetically speaking, this dude isn't, you know, he's not a kid that comes from that element. You know what I mean? So he's basically a civilian. So if you a civilian, should you be blackballed, or should you be defined as a rat? If you don't come from that, to me, civilians can't be rats.
I disagree.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because
you're saying that only way you could be a snitch is if you're doing something wrong.
I can call you a snitch. I can call a civilian a snitch.
But a snitch is really a person that's doing something wrong. Say if I was hustling in the street, I got knocked off, and I blasted my folks. Mm-hmm. Right? That's snitching. This is what you're talking about. You're not talking about him witnessing a homicide of his best friend at 12 or 13 years old. So my thing is this. I think that, look, he testified on somebody, whether he was 12 or 13 years old, and I understand the situation. I know how tough that can be, especially when you have people, you know, his best friend's parents or his mom's parents. He has somebody, you know, just pushing him to say some of the things that he's seen. Right. My thing is this. Hey, you could do that. You could be a civilian. But look, I think that once you enter the hip-hop arena, you subjected yourself to all that scrutiny. That's just my thing. I think he shouldn't be in hip hop.
But I also think
just choose another career.
I don't agree with that because it's a lot of sucker niggas out here that have done questionable things
Listen,
that still
I agree
get
with
supported.
you, but I don't know why.
So who picks and chooses who is going to get a pass or not?
Listen, I don't support him. I don't support that.
Like it was somebody did a.
I do not support snitching.
I think the dude named Charleston White. He was like, "Yo, how they gonna blackball this young kid who, you know, mother?" Because I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like, I don't know. Nah, I'll take that back. Because I was different. You know what I'm saying? And I know I was different.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? My mother sent me away for being different.
Right.
But I can say, let me go a few years younger than 13. Let's say 11.
Okay.
At 11 years old, my mother, all she had to do was give me a look. And if she said, boy, you better get on that damn stand, or I'm going to be waiting for you when you get back home. Well, when this trial is over, I probably would have been up there singing like a canary.
Listen, I see something interesting in the comment. Now, this is coming from Pankova. She said, how is that snitching if he was not a part of the act? He was a witness to his friend's death.
Right.
Well, I think it's snitching. It's snitching. I mean, that's how I see it. That's how we was raised. I think that, look, man, I understand the situation, and it's a terrible situation.
Right.
It's very terrible. Let me say that. I don't condone murder. I don't condone these things. I don't condone any of that. And I don't condone snitching either. It's just how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I can see if I grew up around people that I was actually born into a certain lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I was actually born into, like, before I was born, like, you know, my people was, you know what I mean, in the mud. So my daddy taught me about snitching when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I got a whooping in the kindergarten for snitching. You know what I'm saying? You know, telling my daddy business. I'm in the kindergarten now. Shit, once that happened, I learned. Man, look, don't say nothing.
Yeah, and certain, you know what I mean? Like, it's really about, the whole snitching culture to me, it's about accountability. You know what I mean? Yeah, being accountable for your own actions and not blaming. Now, see, my father never explained it to me as snitching. Mm-hmm. He explained it to me as being accountable for the wrong things you do and don't blame anybody else for your issue. So if I get called out on something, let's just say in school where I was like, well, they were doing it too.
Right.
My father was like, I don't care what they did.
Right.
What did you do?
Right.
So, but that is a far cry from witnessing a murder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and like I said, at a certain age, I wouldn't say 14 because at 14 I was kind of out of control.
Listen, I learned, but still, even though before 14 years old, you knew, even growing up in school, middle school and all that, like about snitching. I mean, these things you grew up in at Sampson Middle School, Sampson Elementary.
But I think that's a tough.
It is. Listen, it's a tragic situation.
A tough spot to be in at that age.
It is. It definitely is.
Because you, not only that, you have to just let's just say hypothetically, you take the stance and that I'm not going to snitch on a dude that I don't know who just killed my best friend. How do I look at his mother after that?
You're right, though. It's hard, man. Look, I'm just saying, I don't know.
I mean, being a child, it would be hard pressed for me to do that at my age now.
Man, look.
If somebody took you out that I don't know, right?
Right.
How do I look at your mother when she ask me if she know I'm present and she know there is possibility that I seen the face of the dude who I don't love and don't know that just killed my brother? How do I continue to converse with your mother after that?
See, and these elements, right, I guess you know what, and now looking at it from that as a kid, look, I understand all of that. I get it. But you can't, hip hop is just not forgiven that way. I'm sorry to say that.
Now, we both playing the game. Now, we both playing the game.
I understand that.
That's something different. But that's a totally different conversation.
Right.
Because that means that if I'm not going to, the way I look at it, if you're playing the game, right, and if you not going to do it, if you're not going to snitch, then you have to take care of that.
Right, I agree.
If I know I'm not gonna, I'll go to the police, and me and you both caught up in the streets, then I have to go handle that. I gotta take this nigga out who just took you out.
Hey, look.
But if I'm not,
but don't just keep it on the low, because I don't want you to say that out here on camera. But mama, if something happened, don't call CJ and ask him. Leave him alone. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Hey, look, just tell my mama the name, and they'll get it out there. You know what I mean? Don't.
No, I mean we just having a real conversation.
Let me just say this. I wouldn't want you to put yourself at any risk, any elevated risk, especially after something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because people circle back and handle business. I think about your family first too. You know what I'm saying? I know.
Right, but see, that's the thing about it, and that's why all of these things tie in together, because you have to, if you walk in the straight path, then you know what I can and can't do. Like, you know what I mean? You are somebody. An OG told me this a long time ago. He said you are the company you keep. So if you're not engaging in those types of activities, why are you in the street?
Bird of the same.
You know what I mean? If you're not trapping, why are you hanging out at a trap house?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
if it's certain things that as you mature, that you know. Like me, I'm a homebody. I stay out the way. I don't bother nobody. I make my music. You know what I'm saying? I deal with my family. Now I have a lot of friends that are in street culture, but I know how to deal with them, and they know how to deal with me. But I know every time that I'm in the situations with them, whether it could be let me stop by, holler at my man for a minute. He do what he do, but I love him. You know what I'm saying? We might go eat lunch or whatever. Go, you know what I'm saying? But I know every time I'm with him that the potential is there for something to go wrong. Right. But I have that awareness, and I think if you don't have that awareness, you can fall victim. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can. You can. That's definitely true. That's facts. So my question would be, look, how do we get these guns from entering our community? Because we don't sell guns or own guns. We don't work, you know what I mean? The NRA and all these people, these backdoor sales that's coming out of these gun shows and all of this, you know what I'm saying? So I would go back to that, you know what I'm saying? We have these guns just circulating and circumventing the community, tearing us apart, bro.
Yeah, that's, that goes back to everything that, I'm saying, they put us through. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to dive too deep into that, but it's on multiple levels. And part of that is a big part of the problem. And also, I can honestly say, I think to define snitching, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I house with 3 of my partners, and we get kicked out, or something happens to one of them outside of there, and then they come back and tell on us, and we get kicked out and do all these things, and we all get jammed up because of his testimony. You see what I'm saying? Right. That's snitching. Right. Me getting caught doing something, and I'm in commission of this crime with you or whoever else, and I get caught, and I tell on you guys. That is snitching. You know what I mean? Now the neighbor just across the street with the window up and the blinds up or something, just looking out the window all day, they just nosy as hell. We call that nosy. He's just nosy. You know what I mean?
And then there's some people now, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I start, once you get older, you start to analyze things a little bit differently.
You do.
You know what I mean? Just like now, me as a homeowner, who is invested in my property and things like that. Right. I wouldn't want no young kids standing in front of my house hustling.
I agree with you.
Because that would but see, I would have a conversation with them. You know what I mean? I think I'm not the dude that's going to sit outside, in the window and call the police. I will, because I've been there, so I understand. Right. I can have a conversation with them. Right. And I also know how to protect mine. Right. On top of that, too. If you don't, I'm going to find it. You're going to move one way or the other. Right. And the fact that you even doing this out here, right, it brings the value of my property down that I worked so hard to obtain.
Look, I can understand you from that point. Because, look, I don't want anybody hanging out in front of my home. Where my family, I'm raising my family, or you know what I mean, having to take care of my family. Look, I don't want that either. You know what I'm saying? So, look, I think it's look, we just gotta learn to do things different. Do not surround yourself with certain things that you know that will bring drawbacks on you. And then, like, if these kids just out here playing and somebody just got, hit by, I just, look, it's this thing right here. Everybody has a different point of view about this.
Yo, shout out to Reese. Reese says snitching is a part of the culture now because people want to live up to an image until the responsibility of the image is relevant. All facts.
Right.
That's absolutely a fact. You know what I mean? And like I said earlier, I think, I have conversations with my daughter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I have the same conversations with my daughter as my father had with me.
Right.
And it's more about being accountable for your actions.
Right. That's
You know what I mean? Now, if you're not a part, I think you corny. If you're not in the streets and you witness an innocent person go through something traumatic, like, you know what I mean?
Like that murder situation.
Like this murder situation, I think it's wrong for us to expect children. Not only are they being traumatized, but at the same time, what is the value in teaching that somebody who don't give a damn about you, don't give a damn about your life or your brother's life, that could have been your mother, like, you know what I mean? It could have been anybody, but this is somebody you close to that you love, that you saw get their wig split right in front of you.
Man, that's crazy. Look, I understand you, and it's a kid, but look, man, that's why I said it's a lot of point of views. I'm just saying, look, I'm just happy that I wasn't placed in a situation like that.
Facts.
Because look, I could tell you anything and say anything, but at that age, I'm just telling you what I would do and how I was raised. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was raised early on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, you don't talk to the cops. You don't let the policemen, because I can remember times getting off the school bus, going at my dad's house getting raided, and cops pulling me off, you know what I mean, and standing me up like this is his son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So look, I've never had any encounter that I have with a cop or an officer. It's never been good.
Right.
So why do I want to talk to the cops?
Exactly. And
that's the black community. This is a stigma in our community. But listen, this thing.
And once again, you just added another. Like, there's so many different layers to this.
It
thing.
is.
Because you don't like the police. The police are grimy individuals.
They grimy.
You know what I mean? Like, and you start to experience that early. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I remember being 12, 13, first learning how to gamble and, shooting craps in the hallway and all of that. And instead of the police, like, really, I remember them taking our pot, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, basically, we getting robbed.
We get robbed by the cops.
By the police at a young age. So, you grow up not respecting them.
Yeah, taking your money out your pocket and all this. I don't respect that. You know what I'm saying? So, I just, look, me personally, man, I'm just happy. It's a traumatic experience for that kid and his family. I would just say to Pop Hunna, hey, look, man, just, I don't know, maybe don't do hip-hop. Or maybe continue to do hip hop and maybe you'll get through it and you'll get past it.
But
or maybe people forget about it. But I just don't think when you got these young guys out here in the street and they got a certain image that they're trying to portraying, they're not going to be forgiven to you.
So without further ado, man, we're gonna bring on a special guest. You know what I'm saying? One of the homies.
Yeah, let's pray he's still in the background having some patience with us, man, because we about 15 minutes late on him, but we working it out. So, but yeah, man, this dude, I don't know, man. It's a lot of layers to this, but I'm interested to know what our community thinks about this. Because our community are the people that has to change how we think or how we view certain things, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Really, so basically, that's basically what it is for me. So,
Yo.
Yo, what up, Bank?
Can't see you. Oh, there you go, brother.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, what you in a baby castle?
What's good with it? C and E.
Yo, what you in a baby castle over there?
Huh?
It look like you in a baby castle.
Yeah, this is my couch right here, baby.
Okay, that's dope, bro. That's dope.
What's good with y'all boys, man?
Oh, man, you hear us? We got this discussion going on about snitching in hip-hop or basically snitching in the culture. And I know you probably heard some of what I said, but I'm starting to rethink that this was a kid. How do you feel about what we talking about?
So look, I ain't been on the live, catch the live, so y'all speaking on the fact of the Hunna cat?
Yeah, the Hunna cat. We talking about that situation. Would you be forgiven to a hip-hop artist that was labeled a snitch, would you buy his music? Would you rock with him? I mean, I don't know. Would you bring him to Kingston for a show?
He run the whole scenario down with me. Like, I need to know the whole scenario. You know,
okay,
I'm gonna familiar with what was going on. I know people been speaking on it, but you know what I'm saying, I ain't familiar with what's going on, like all the details.
Okay. Well, CJ familiar with it, so I'll let CJ run you down because he's more familiar with it than
break me down, CJ.
Alright. What it is, okay, the cat Pop Hunna, you know, got that Corvette record. His best friend got his wig split right in front of him. He was, one report saying 13, one saying he was 14 years old.
Right.
And he was saying that his mother, now, he's there, he had a verse, did a remix with him and he wanted his verse removed from the song. If you ever heard the record, I mean, the dude sounds like a child, man. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't strike me as a street guy.
Right.
Period.
So, you know, it's hard. Now, I'm just speaking on this is my opinion, my take on it. I think it's corny for him to be blackballed. Because, first of all, I don't think he makes music for people like me and you know it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he don't have that type of music.
Why not? He rap about
he got his bankroll. You don't think he's a street nigga? Am I free to speak freely?
Yeah, speak your mind, bro.
I can speak like I want to, right?
Like you want to
all day.
Okay, big. All right, big. So check, like, if he ain't into the streets, but what about the artist that he featured with that's trying to take that off? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's a street nigga, and maybe then he got straight street codes to abide by. But
right.
Like at 13, 14, man, it's like a nigga just jumping off a porch. You know, just getting off the porch, man. Really,
right.
Like
facts.
Okay. You can put it on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? If he not portraying to be a gangster street nigga, then I don't see, you know what I'm saying?
So, I
don't condone that snitching shit, period. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I still think...
Let's get that clear. I don't condone snitching.
Right. But look, I hear what you're saying, but do you think that he still should be shunned? Now, this happened when he was pre-hip-hop, before his career. So, do you think that should be brought into... Do you think that should be brought into his career? Should he be shunned?
I mean, it's still valid, man. That bring me to a verse that Rollo Rodriguez said. You know what I'm saying? And this right here, you know what I'm saying, kind of stuck with me. He said, "Niggas snitch, go do their time." He basically, how he said? He said, "Niggas snitch, do their time, come home thinking it's gonna fade away, but they don't know it's gonna stick with them like he got a roommate."
Right.
Facts. I agree with that.
Listen.
So it's like, all right. So just going off that quote alone, bro, it's like that's a part of his music that stuck with me, and I heard that. You know what I'm saying? And what's really crazy is that I'm kind of going through the same shit right now with like one of my homeboys, and you know, me and the nigga was so tight. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? They got stuff out there saying that the man snitching, you know what I'm saying? They got him on papers and shit.
Right.
And the man already know my focus, like, you know, it's like, you know, I don't condone that shit, you know what I'm saying? But this is my right hand, this is one of my close niggas. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm struggling with that right now because, you know, he called home, and when he called home, at first I was on some shit like, at first I'm talking to him, and then he's calling, then I hear the snitch shit. See some papers. It's not really, I can't really say it's official, but I see some papers. I'm really waiting to see the official papers. I'm seeing through, you know, the middlemen.
Right.
So when I actually, all right, so that, I'm talking to him. Once I see the papers, that got me off of.
Right.
And then now it's like, you know, he's calling back. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm talking to him more, but I can't help but to feel seesaw with it, man, because it's like, but that don't gonna stick with you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's against some of the codes that, you know what I'm saying, I ain't with, bro.
Listen, that's a label that you don't want to have in our community.
Facts.
That's a stigma. Listen, it doesn't matter whether it's hip hop, whether it's sports, whether if you hustling in the trap house, you don't want that label.
Or even at work. Like,
At work, you don't want that label.
You don't want that label, period.
Right.
But I do think that there's a way that it has to be defined. Like, you understand?
Right.
I don't think a civilian is necessarily a civilian can tell, but I wouldn't consider a civilian a snitch.
Well, I mean, but most civilians, when they tell a snitch, they not planning on being out in the streets doing anything, hanging out with people like, like we used to be or something. We
like that's a person that tells. Like, to me, it's a difference between, like you said earlier, a tattletale and a snitch. I think a snitch is a dude that's in the street.
Exactly.
Somebody that's playing the game.
Yeah, that's a snitch.
And then
you don't know.
Right.
That's a snitch. But look, tattletales.
Somebody that's.
My bad. Go ahead.
I can all right. I can respect like the tattletale and the snitch. Okay, a tattletale, like you remember in school. You knew the type of people that was. He's a tattletale. You know for a fact if it came down to it. Now the teacher come back in the class, he might not yell out to the teacher and tell him what's going on. But if ass and before his ass get in trouble, he gonna tell him, look, hell no, it was bank. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, but see, you can respect the tattletale to a certain extent because you know what he gonna do.
Right.
A snitch, you know what I'm saying? He's portraying to move like you move. He's supposed to be the same type of person you is. You feel what I'm saying? Go by the code that you go by.
Right.
But on the low, you sneaking on the low and you telling shit. I can't respect that.
I can't respect that either.
Now, if your dumb ass, if you know this nigga is a snitch and you come in front of a snitch and you do illegal stuff and so the snitch can see you, then you can't be mad at the snitch. You snitched on yourself.
Right, because you got people that's arrogant enough to think that they won't tell on them.
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, and y'all probably can relate to this, right? I'm gonna tell you a real, somebody who redefined this shit for me. Well, excuse my language, but Dwayne.
Dwayne who? O's?
Yo, Dwayne, Brother O's, Dwayne O's, my dude, was Brother O's, one of the realest dudes. I remember Brother O's like, if y'all don't get off this stoop, I'm gonna call the police on y'all. You know what I'm saying? He was
Brother O's didn't do that. Brother O's was on the jug himself.
Nah. But hold on, this is when he was
a kid. Oh, he was
a little bit younger. You know what I'm saying? And Brother O's, the thing that made me respect him the most was he was so real with it that it's not like he wanted to get you caught up, but he like, yo, listen, I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta get off this stoop. And if you don't get off this stoop, it's gonna be a problem.
Oh, y'all was making too much noise for him.
You know what I'm saying?
He couldn't sleep.
Like, so
he wasn't gonna tell on y'all though.
I
don't know why.
Dwayne wasn't gonna do
that.
that.
But what I'm saying is he put the threat out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's a certain real.
Yeah.
Like if you a real tattletale, you gonna say don't do that around me. You know what I mean? If you do that around me,
yeah, exactly.
I'm going. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's not.
If you do something around him and it come out, if it come to, this is Dwayne. You do something around him and it puts him in a jam.
Right.
He not gonna run out and tell it. But if you do something around it that puts him in a jam and you try to stick to your street codes about like saying, all right, say scenario like say I get pulled up, it's me and Dwayne. I got a pistol or drugs on me.
Right.
And I throw the shit down. The police come when the police pull up on me, I don't know who the dope is. Dwayne the type of person to say, listen, you better tell them there's your dope now.
No facts. I'm going.
Hey, listen.
So so man, you understand what I'm saying about Dwayne? That's always been Dwayne. Like
hey, listen.
Straight up real.
Even if that's true.
That was the perfect person to pick, bro. As far as you know, what I'm saying, explain that scenario. That was the perfect person to pick because Motherfuckers don't understand that. You try to play him to be that street person, but he wouldn't tell you out the gate, listen now, I ain't going to jail for nobody. I got plans. I ain't going to jail for nobody. And he telling you that up front, so you know not to do nothing with him.
Right.
Look,
you do something with him, and he tells you, oh, you can't be bad. Hey,
right.
Dwayne trying to get the hell up out of
In fact,
I agree with you, but look, if you can't this is to everybody that's watching or that's probably gonna view this video. Listen, if you can't hold your own weight or take your lick, let me read a comment from somebody, Bank, and I want you to. This is a comment from Corey Cox. He said, if you're in the streets, you shouldn't be involved in anything you can't take the lick for if things go left, because they can't at any time. They can at any time. That's true. So if you're not man enough to stand up and take your lick, whoever you are, just don't do it, man. Just fall back, because the streets ain't for you.
Being accountable, y'all.
And look, we wish you well, man, and you and your family.
Facts. And you do the same. Send my love to your fam.
All day.
The same way y'all boys stay up. Be safe. Keep pushing, man. Push 2021, push that brand, man.
Yes, sir.
Push your
2021.
brand.
The discussion, baby.
Push the
CNE
line.
Media, baby. We here.
Salute.
The discussion.
Yes, sir.